All righty. What is going on, people? The inevitable has happened. This is something that first things first. Thanks for joining me. If you're into gaming, whatever system you game on. Now I prefer play on console. I do have a PC. I am gaming on PC. I'm playing this. I don't know if the game is called Expedition 33. I don't know if it's called Clair Obscure. But I played a little bit of it yesterday for a couple of hours. It's fun to play. I'm not here to say it's a good game or bad game. I've enjoyed it. It has a little bit of everything in it. So I certainly hope that other people get around to playing it as well. It's definitely a fun game to play. But make sure you get yourselves together and try to get that game and support them. Support that dev team. It's like 34 to 40 people, give or take. Said before, everybody's like, well, there's only 40, like 30 devs. I'm like, well, those devs need support, so there's a little more people there than that. But shout out to everybody that's here, man. Everybody will be here later. If you don't know, I think Porter Rock there will be no 60 frames, no lag tomorrow. So he's thinking about moving it to Tuesday. I'm sorry. We usually do it on Tuesday nights. He's talking about possibly moving it till Wednesday. So, because he wants his 2 cents in. I know J Dub's gonna probably go live a little bit later tonight. So make sure you are subbed to him. Make sure that you all can make sure you go support. Hit the like buttons, hit the share button. Same as here. You want to go a little bit extra, you can go ahead and hit the share, hit the like. I'm not asking you for your donations. My days of asking you all for donos is over. I do this for fun. I do this to relax. I do this to talk to you all, good people in the community. There's some tards out there too. But tonight is about something that myself and King Thrash, shout out to King Thrash, have been talking about for years. And this is something that we told you was going to happen, and now it's happened. And I was talking about Gears last year when I said, look, when Gears of War comes to PlayStation, I'm going to recommend that you buy it and play it, especially if you like the over-the-top, kind of behind the shoulder, if you want to call it that, the behind the shoulder type of shooters. So if that's what you like, all right, then this game, you will more than likely enjoy this game. This was a Xbox 360 system seller, okay? They had Halo, they had Gears. Again, remember Halo, Gears, and Forza. Halo, Gears, and Forza. So again, Halo is not going to come till next year. It's going to probably be announced by the end of this year, but it's not going to come till next year. I was told that. And people need to understand that, I mean, I've seen some stupid ass stuff out there. Post up with the whole PlayStations being taken over by Xbox. That is the equivalent of a man walking into a Post Up's house, you know, busting his wife down, and then Post Up saying, well, you know what, we're taking over that guy. Nah, I mean, people want to know why Jim Ryan left. It had nothing to do with the games as a service. Everything to do with 25, whatever plus years of him being a service to Sony. And he knew, and he signed off on Project Latitude. He's the one that took it to the Sony executives, and that's what you're seeing right now. And it's really, to me, it's funny to see it come to fruition. But this whole notion of, you're seeing people really struggle. They had a 1-2 punch over there at Microsoft, and I personally believe this is the knockout blow. The game's going up, which again we knew were going to go up. I've been saying you better get it ready for a while. The game's going up. $80 is the new standard, so I totally understand if you are going to complain and you're going to say, oh well, I don't want to pay $80. Well, then that's fine too. Don't pay $80. However, if you want to play the games first, you will be paying your $80. Now, Sony, my understanding is their games are not going to go up this year. I don't believe that. I think their hardware, I think they have enough hardware in the United States to at least get them to Black Friday. I think they got enough hardware here to get them through the summer, because summer everything slows down anyway. Everybody knows everything. We go outside. That's why people have asked me, well, Craig, how come you haven't been podcasting a whole lot? I told you all in the winter. Shout out to the ones who were here during the winter time. I told you all during the winter. This spring and summer, I will be podcasting less because I'm going to be going outside doing different things. My mother is older. My niece graduated from college. She's back in town. That's, me, and I work every day now. I used to work I would work sometimes, I would work those 312s, right? And I remember sometimes I'd work, Monday and Tuesday, and then I wouldn't work again until Saturday. And that's the schedule I would take. Or I would work Saturday, Sunday, and then be off on Monday, Tuesday. I'm sorry. I would work Sunday, be off Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, work Thursday, work Friday, be off the whole weekend. I mean, I'm not doing that anymore. I work at a clinic now, have been for the last almost 3 years, and we're open Monday through Friday, 7:30 to whenever the clinic ends. So, and I was going to move this podcast. I want to be 100% transparent with you all. This podcast I'm doing now, I was going to move this to tomorrow because, as I said before, Puerto Rock's not doing 60 frames no lag. But my Twitter at work was just vibrating. Brr, brr, my phone was vibrating. And I kept looking like, what is going on? When it vibrates like that, I'm like, something has happened, So I thought it was going to be Helldivers being announced to go to Xbox, which I've been told there's been movement with that. So there could be an announcement next week. Have to wait and see. So we're gonna find out next week if they're going to do this or not. But what I saw, the first tweet I saw was J-Dubs, and I thought it was just a joke. I literally thought, okay, this is a joke. Somebody has used AI to create this false thing. All right, 5 minutes later, after I get done talking to the patient and things like that, 5 minutes later, and I'm looking at it again. I looked at Zubitech. Zubitech has breaking news as Gears of War going to PlayStation. I'm like, I won't believe it till I really see it. So phone keeps going off. I get to my lunch and I turn on and shout out to MBG. He's already on when I go to lunch, so I go back 1 hour, basically 45 minutes to an hour, and then I see his podcast. He pulls up Pure Xbox or whatever it was called, Windows Pure Xbox, and there it is in black and white. I'm like, oh my god, this is it. This is Sony taking over. This is what a takeover of the moving into the full number one position. Xbox is getting out of the console business, which is something that me and Thrash talked about. Thrash can reap the glory. I said this on my Twitter. Make sure you're following me on Twitter. King Thrash can reap the glory. That's the way. King Thrash can put in the work. He does a lot more podcasting than me. He called it too. I want to make sure he gets his credit. He can reap the glory, but I'm going to reap your cheeks, bitch, for all the trash talking, all the lying, all the misleading, the misrepresentation of what was going on. Your cheeks are going to get taken now. For the rest of the year, we are going to take your cheeks. All you are is a pretty man at this point. Xbox is a bitch to Sony. Now, I don't have a problem. I've said this. I don't have a problem with what Xbox is doing. I have no problem. Because, again, I understand. When Microsoft proper came back in and they paused and they took Xbox over. Remember, they reabsorbed Xbox back into Microsoft. Phil Spencer got sacked. Phil got sacked. All right, and when Phil got sacked, Amy the Hood took over. And Amy the Hood is moving all these games over exponentially fast. Shout out to what Porter Rock said. You know, the only thing that's going to stop this or slow this down is the time it's going to take for them to put the games on PlayStation. Like, how much time are they dedicating to put these games on PlayStation? You know, that's why you heard Mark Cerny and them talking about the budget. You know, oh, you only have to use this much budget. Oh, the developers can do this in a matter of a few days. Because he's trying to tell the developers, here's a sense of how much money you're going to spend to do this. Now, the thing that threw me is that Microsoft is going out of their way. And I'm going to engage with you guys here shortly. You know I always do. Shout out to you guys. Make sure you hit the like button and share. This is a celebration tonight. All right? We're because the inevitable has happened. What did Thanos say? I am inevitable. And this was inevitable because what Microsoft was doing as a company, they could not sustain it. They told their shareholders, we need this much money to go buy these many publishers, and when we get this many publishers, we will move these numbers over to us. So the shareholders gave them the money. And when all was said and done, even after they bought Bethesda, which I think is a good buy, then I think they overspent on ABK. Again, they bought it, their call. It was, I thought it was a bad buy, but okay, this is what they did. They didn't move the numbers. I think with Call of Duty, they only moved the numbers 10 to 12%. That's not what they told the shareholders they were going to move. So the shareholders, like anybody else, want their money back. And the best way for them to get their money back is to open up their ecosystem, which is what they're doing. Again, I have no issue with Microsoft doing it. So the problem is the other people. Now, I'm sure if you stood in line to get an Xbox this generation, if somebody had told you, and I want you to be honest, if somebody had told you that if you bought an Xbox this year, or I'm sorry, 4.5 years ago, that the games would be coming out and they would be going to PlayStation and Nintendo, you would have probably said ain't no way in hell. And that's what most people would say. That's normal. But I've said before that the 1-2 punch of this happening, plus the games going up and the hardware going up with Xbox, and then only they have the PC community go full tard and say, well, just get yourself a PC. Again, they don't want to pay for nothing. They don't like the fact that their console went up. They're not going to turn around and go spend $3,000 on a PC. They don't want to pay for nothing. Okay, and they're sitting up there saying to people like me, well, thanks for buying the games. I'm like, yeah, that's what people like me do. I'm not ashamed to say I buy stuff. These guys are. They're broke. This is what I said before. They speak the language of broke people. So, and it is effed up what they're on. So this is what they get when you don't buy your games. This is what you get. And the fact of the matter is that we told you this is going to happen. I know I told you. I'll speak for myself. I told you this is going to happen. And now it is happening. This is two of their quote-unquote big three. Two of their big three. But meaning that these are two of the big three, meaning that these three games, Halo, Gears, and Forza, are Microsoft system sellers. These are the games that you bought the console to play these games. Halo, Gears, and Forza. Halo, Gears, and Forza. And again, Microsoft Publishing, they brought us Mass Effect. That's why we have Mass Effect, is because Casey Hudson went to Microsoft and told them about Mass Effect. And at first, Microsoft said no. And Casey Hudson said, well, why? And they said, well, we already have a space shooter called Halo. We don't want this to compete with it. And Casey Hudson said, no, this is an RPG. This is not going to be, it's going to be an RPG that allows the players to kind of pick their own paths. And they were like, oh, okay, they'll build us a demo. So they built the demo, and they took the demo to E3. A lot of people really enjoyed it. I was out there at that E3. And I stood for an hour and a half to play that demo. And so Microsoft, after E3, I believe, decided to publish the entire game. So, again, I'll forever be grateful to Microsoft Publishing. We also got Jade Empire as well. That was published by BioWare on the Xbox 360. Okay, 360, I've said before, versus the PS3. Most of my friends, 90% 360. I had a few friends that had the PS3. No lying to you about that. I've told you that story before. But this was inevitable. So shout out to all the people, to my day ones that have been here, but like, yeah, they see the pathway. Now, where was I wrong? I said Game Pass would come to PlayStation. And again, in the court cases, we found out that Microsoft had indeed approached Sony to have Game Pass on Xbox. That's the truth. Sony said no for now. But obviously, Jim Ryan worked out something else. Oh, we have x86 architecture. We're using some of your cloud stuff. So just go ahead and put the games on the back end, which shout out to Detective Seeds. He explained to me what the back end is. So what the back end is that the games that Microsoft has put on PlayStation, they're already on PlayStation Store. They're already there. They just have to wait. Sony has to wait for Microsoft to okay, we'll be ready to release it in whatever, October, September, July, whatever. And then they go ahead and they say, okay, well, Sony's not going to announce that. They allow Microsoft to announce it. That's what you saw. Microsoft announced it first, and then about 10 minutes later, boom, the PlayStation Store announces it too. So you're going to get people, Doc Dark getting ripped to shreds. Again, people like Doc Dark are going to get ripped to shreds. You just have to stay. I can sit back and drink my Gatorade and be like, yeah, your sorry ass sat out here saying the bullshit you were saying. Now you got to deal with your cheeks getting ripped. I mean, that's just get used to it. I saw multiple people, and again, people did, shout out to J-Dub, multiple people in his chat today or in his thread apologizing. Yeah, look, we did say, because they got all these screenshots. J-Dub don't get all these screenshots of these Xbox guys talking about, if Halo and Gears go, then, or something like that. If Halo, Forza, or Gears, if they go, because remember, that was their final stand. Their final stand was, Indiana Jones went, and, what was it? Age of Empires went, all those other ones went, Pentiment. Yeah, okay, we can deal with that, but you ain't got the big three yet. Now we got two of the big three. Right now, we got a pair of aces, baby. We got a pair. Make no mistake, Forza Horizon is a fantastic game. I certainly hope you all have decided to put down the bullshit that you hear from other podcasters still console warring, and everybody knows what I'm talking about. Talk about a guy who podcasted yesterday, just on talking about Jeff Grubb. I mean, you know when a man is talking about another man, I'm just saying, this ridiculous accusations. No proof. This accusation. So, but shout out to Jeff Grubb. If you don't know, Jeff Grubb got laid off, and somebody was saying that they're glad he lost his job. That's fucked up. I mean, look, you can disagree with somebody, but damn, nobody wants anybody in this economy. Nobody wants anybody to lose their job. So you know, all right. Has Jeff Grubb been right about some stuff? Yeah. Has he been wrong about stuff? Yeah. He's human. What did he get wrong? Well, the biggest thing I think Jeff got wrong was when he was talking about Sony. I think they were either looking to buy Capcom or Square Enix, and then he said that he couldn't elaborate on what he had heard, which I think it turned out to be Square Enix, and then they were close. Sony and Square were close, but Sony was like, well, I believe that with how that broke was Sony wanted these games to be exclusive to Sony, and Square didn't want that. So that's why you've seen Sony make deals like with From Software. It's something else I told you all. Hey, look, From Software, they're going to be publishing those games. Well, no, they're not. They're not going to be doing that. They couldn't even afford to buy the whole studio. Then Kodakawa, I believe, comes out with a statement literally saying Sony will be publishing the games and the TV shows and the movies and stuff like that. All right, well, the books, whatever. And now y'all need to shut the hell up. That's the way this works. Them cheeks getting busted. You the pretty man. And I've seen it, these guys are getting ripped online, and it was coming. That's why I kept saying to you guys, hey, look, man, the console war is over. I keep saying this to you all, okay? Y'all don't want to listen. I have said multiple times, the console war is over. There are going to be sentinel events that happen in over the next year to 2 years. They're going to separate the real gamers from the fanboys. And you all just keep getting these things over. And in the last 140 hours, you've gotten two major events. Microsoft raising the prices, and then which again, they are literally throwing people off the boat. At this point, there ain't no more, hey, you guys, you mind going ahead and exiting the boat in an orderly manner. Go ahead and get in a single file line. Go ahead and get on those dinghies, and we'll get you across the water like that. Now they knocking on the door, dragging mofos down the deck of the ship, throwing them. They're just throwing them in the water. Like, what about the sharks? What about the killer whales? Oh, we don't care about that. They should have left. We told them years ago to get the hell off the boat. They don't want to listen to nobody. They don't want to listen. So Skype got shut off today. Nick says, oh man, that's terrible. That is terrible, man. Skype. God bless. Yeah, and so that if you need to know, if you're shout out to somebody talking about Ghost of Yotei. Yeah, Ghost of Yotei is the #1 ordered PlayStation game. So again, nothing is changing for you PlayStation gamers. Meaning that you're still going to go buy your games. It doesn't matter. That's fine with you, right? Nothing has changed for you. You may pay a little bit more, and that's fine too, because you all have been listening. You all have been, getting it ready, and that's why I've been telling you, just go ahead and get it ready. Yeah, no physical, no buy. Yeah, I don't know about that at this point. I'm a physical gamer, and if I go ahead and I've said before, down to 3 games I was going to buy when Xbox brought them over. I said one was going to be Gears, and the other was going to be Forza Horizon. So Indiana Jones I still haven't went out and bought yet, and I still haven't went out and bought. I haven't bought Forza yet. Because I thought I went to the movies this weekend. That was my Forza money. So, but how many of you all? And I see the poll is up. Pause. Make sure you vote in that poll. Very simple, engaging question. Are you buying Gears of War for PlayStation 5. Now, 54% of you have voted yes. That's the majority. That is the majority. Oh, Mary Wilcox in the house. In the house. So it's shout out to Mary Wilcox. So always here, always supporting. So shout out to them. Yeah, we taking cheeks tonight. You know, Thrash has the glory. There's no doubt. Thrash has the glory. Shout out to Thrash. But you know what? This is break out the gimp time. And nobody playing with you all no more. You know, them cheeks are going to get busted up and down the dial. And because one of two things are going to happen. Either they're going to leave the internet, which is what I want them to do, or they're going to constantly, you know, sleep on their backs, which is all right. That's perfectly fine. So, Monty White in the house, he thinks Microsoft done with physical content. They could be. I think there's going to be some special editions coming, but I think overall it's just better for them to just not make a physical copy and say, well, here it is on your store. And that's kind of what Detective Seeds has been saying. And again, I'm a physical buyer. You all know that. But I have to, like I said, I'm going out the way of the dodo bird. You know, I've said that for years. Hey, people like me, we going out the way of the dodo bird. And again, that's just reality for me. That's why when I buy Blu-rays now, I can still go to Walmart and get them. I can still go to Costco. But I can't go to Best Buy, and I prefer to go to Best Buy to get my Blu-rays. Now I have to order them online, you know, off Amazon, something like that. So, and that's just the way it's going for me. So, Thunderbolts is a good movie. Yeah, I know. I saw it in on the big screen. Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I don't think Marvel has done anything stupid. I'm in the minority. But I don't think their multiverse phase, you know, Ant-Man, Quantumania, the Doctor Strange, the multiverse movie. I don't have an issue with anything they've done. I enjoyed the Captain America movie. I'll go see the Thunderbolts again probably tomorrow, Discount Tuesday, when I get off work. Like, yeah, I'm gonna go see a movie. So, yeah. Oh, Mary, are you still over there on that other channel? Are you still? Did he keep you off of the what's it called, moderation? Did he remod you? You know, or are you banned from modding? So D Nice 41 says I'll be getting Gears of War day one. Game Pass, whatever be on here. Yeah, I mean, again, that's fine. Yeah, like I said, I'll stand corrected about Game Pass. But I was still right about the games coming over. But fair enough. That's a fair criticism. I can take that. And so Lincoln Clay is in the house. Make sure if you are into VR, follow Lincoln Clay. He is the VR king. So make sure you all go over to his channel and sub to him. Especially, again, all you VR players. And when we get Flight Sim, that better be VR ready. That's all I can say. That better have a VR component. Because if it's not, I will be disappointed. So, Fantastic Four, First Step, July. Yeah, I'm seeing that too. It's literally as soon as the Thunderbolts leaves the theater in like 8 to 10 weeks, it will be time for, it's going to be time for that, for Fantastic Four. So, yeah, good movies, guys. I mean, it's not a bad movie. Alan said Jeff Grubb is a human being. Yeah, and there was somebody was celebrating or somebody was happy that he got laid off. I mean, that's how effed up that guy is. I mean, again, I am not that guy. I do not want anybody in this economy to lose their job. So it's effed up. So what that guy was saying. But again, that's you all's friend over there. So and remember, the PlayStation games will not be going up as long as you got at least 30 platinums. You just tell them that you got 30 platinums and your prices won't go up, okay? Yeah, we buy games. So what do you all think? Gears of War having full PlayStation support. You're going to be able to play online if you want to. The first Horde modes I experienced was on Gears of War. That's the first Horde modes, but it was co-op. It was co-op Horde mode, up to 4 people. So, and again, spent Friday nights. I didn't get in trouble because I stayed at home and me and several people played Gears. It would be, we start playing at 9:30 at night. And next thing you know, I look up at the clock, it be 1:45. Like, oh, guys, I got to go to bed, Oh, but everybody's off tomorrow. I'm like, yeah, dude, I'm going to bed. I've been playing for 4 hours with you guys. So hit me up tomorrow. So, it's very disappointing. But I'm glad to see. I mean, this is up to 59% of you all playing Gears. That's what I like to see. That makes me happy. That means that the right direction of the channel was to get away from the fanboying and leaving PlayStation Nation and just gaming. Because like I said, I'm playing Game Pass on my PC. So again, I'm not knocking it.
Listen to specific songs anytime you like.
Yes.
Just say try Amazon Music Unlimited.
Okay,
Only
thank
on
you.
PC. Super slow and similar songs on Amazon Music.
What? All right, Alexa, stop. Huh. So yeah, if you don't know, Amazon, their yearly, if you try for 30 days and then after that it's $5.99, they want you to forget you sign up for it. I'm not going to sign up for it. So, as a matter of fact, I take that back. I will sign up for it, and then I will have the Alexa remind me at the 28th day to cancel it. That's probably what I'm going to go ahead and do. Yeah. Chiefs are getting clapped today. I mean, the Chiefs are getting clapped. It is bad out there for those. For the ones. I want to make this clear. And this is why Tim Dog left Xbox camp, is because he's like, yeah, Tim said it too. Now he said it a few years later. When he went off on Twitter. He went off on Twitter. So, and I shout out to Next Gen 720. Somehow he downloaded what Tim was saying and he created his own little thing with it. Pause. Meaning his own podcast with it, and he let it play out. Shout out to them. So, Jimmy Leo says it's a good move from Microsoft. Cross-platform, cross-progression, PS5 in the hand. Yeah. I mean, again, I'm not I'm not denying that. And guess what? All you ponies who rip Jim Ryan, y'all can eat a dick too. Because Jim Ryan knew this was happening. So, and that's, I keep trying to tell people that. The Last of Us Season 2, Episode 4 was good. It was good. It had everything in there that I enjoyed about the game. Ultimately, it's just going to come down to, I'm replaying the game right now, and I forgot how good of a game that is. I played that game over the weekend. I played it 7 hours. I played on Saturday. We got that rain that came in Saturday afternoon, like around, I don't know, what time was it? 1:15. And I was playing The Last of Us. I started playing at like 11:30, and I played until 6. So 6 or 7 o'clock. I mean, it was a long ass time. So, but I forgot how good that game was. But anyway, I ended up, at the hospital. I was at the hospital, and I eliminated Nora. Is that her name? Nora. And, I eliminated her. And so then, it cuts right back to Ellie making it back to the theater, and Dina helped getting her cleaned up. Jesse's there as well. So, again, that's where I'm at in the game. So, and again, the way The Last of Us Part 2 is, you play it as Ellie, and then Ellie's mission reaches a climax as far as the point in the mission where, she gets her revenge, so to speak, and then it goes back to, it converts over to Abby, and Abby starts backtracking where, what Ellie has done. She starts realizing, the reason why my friends that went to Jackson with me haven't reported in is because of what's happening. But you got to remember, she doesn't know it's Ellie. She thinks it's Tommy. She thinks Tommy's the one tracking them and hunting them down. So that's why when she gets to the theater, when she's in that radio room, she sees the map circled, and this person had an X, this person had an X, and she said, oh my God, he's been tracking us. That's what that meant. But the show, again, the show for me is fine. You got to remember, I saw the first 5 episodes already. I've not seen the other ones. And so yeah, I already know what's going to happen, and I'll start picking it up again episode 6. So 6, 7, and 8. I think it's eight shows this year. So what else we got down here? Love Train. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, I remember that song, Love Train. The OJs, I think, sang Love Train. Let's see here. Anybody else here? Amy Robin Hood. Yeah, Amy the Hood is what I call her. So, and I mean it affectionately. It's not like a put down. Okay, she got put in charge, and then she's like, here's what we're going to do. We got this thing called Project Latitude, and it's move, get out the way, get out the way. That's what you're seeing. That's what we're seeing right now. So, but yeah, I will take your questions, any comments you got. Again, me and King Thrash told you, Thrash reaps the glory. That's the way. But I'm going to reap your cheeks. All right, that's the way this is going to work. You either, punks jump up to get beat down. And that's what we're going to do to you all going forward. You can say, well, that's fanboying. No, that's setting the record straight. You all came out, talked about 12 T-flops and 52 CUs and VRR and VRS and STD and whatever, and it didn't make a damn bit of difference. So it didn't. So Outsider Gaming says, thank Trump for tariffs. Yeah, and understand what he's trying to do is trying to get those nations to build plants in the United States and create jobs in America. I don't think it's going to work, but what do I know, right? I voted for Trump, but I never thought tariffs would work. I wanted something done on the border. He did that. He also helped sign a paper on to help African Americans sue Africa and the European nations that participated in the transatlantic slave trade. That we're going to do as well. We're going to sue the African nations that sold us into slavery, and we're going to sue the European nations for doing it as well. So, but again, got to start with Africa first, and then we're going to move to Europe. Because once they see we're going to sue Africa, these other countries, we're going to use that as leverage as well. They're going to start getting it ready too. Everybody can F around and find out. So, Mary Wilcox said the show is good even with the changes, but those changes make sense for a lot. I don't disagree. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing. I've enjoyed it. I think they've done a good job. I don't know why people thought they were going to change it. I had people saying that they should have changed it where Tommy gets killed and then Joel wants revenge. Actually, that Naughty Dog did think about that for a while, but they didn't think that people had enough. People didn't have enough connection to Tommy. All right, so and you know where I stand. I think I would support Naughty Dog doing a DLC with Tommy and is it Glenn? That his name? What's Dina Baby's daddy's name? I just said his name. But anyway, those two support, doing a thing with them, maybe something that we saw with, because Naughty Dog did the Uncharted game, Lost Legacy, something like that. A little 6-hour, little offshoot. I would support that. So again, that's me though. And I understand people love that world. You're up to 61%. I love it. So I'm trying to see what else you all got here. Are you all surprised? That's what I'm saying to you all. I want to know, what do you all think? Are you all surprised this has happened? So D Nice, what do you think? Are you surprised? Meaning, are you surprised? Mary, what do you think? Are you shocked? Omar Thomas says the whole slate's coming. You damn right. You are right. So yeah, they're not buying games. They're not buying games. So and these guys out here, I don't get it. It's like Microsoft to me is like Capcom and Square Enix and all the rest of the Epic. They're third party now, and I don't have an issue with it. I think them going the third party publishing route, you can clearly see was the right way to go. It was the right way to go. And I know Greenberg and them, they're getting ready for their summer thing, but this is a huge announcement. I think we'll see gameplay at the Summer Game Fest of what it actually looks like. We're getting Outer Worlds 2 on PlayStation if you want that. We got Forza, we got Indiana Jones. We good, man. We Gucci up over here. We Gucci over here. So Thunderbolts box office, yeah, it did well. It did well. I mean, considering nobody knew who those characters were, they are the Marvel version of the Suicide Squad. That's where they copied it from. Like, oh, you all got Suicide Squad over there? We're gonna have the Thunderbolts over here. So yeah, they're named after James Thunderbolt Ross, or the character Harrison Ford played in the Captain America movie. That's James Thunderbolt Ross. Harrison Ford taking over for William Hurt, who, rest in peace, passed away. Everybody, we're all hung up on Chadwick Boseman passing in the MCU, and that was hard, man. But William Hurt, I think, died the same year, either later the same year or the following year. So yeah, Halo is the one name Shadow says Halo is next. See, I don't think so. I think Halo gets announced, but it won't be till next. It doesn't come till next year. I think the next big one getting announced is going to be Microsoft Flight Sim. I think that's going to be. I think that can get announced at Summer Game Fest. However, not Game Fest, but the Xbox showcase that they're doing. So, but I want to make this clear: if it's not in VR, I'm going to be very disappointed in it. I'll just play it on PC still. So, yeah, Pedro, yeah, cheeks, yeah, we are clapping cheeks over here today. But yeah, I'm just saying, Jordan Peele got us out. Got out. Nope. What now? Oh, Get Out. Is that supposed to be versus Nope? I've never watched Get Out. I've never seen Get Out, so I can't answer that one. Let me see here. I'm just trying to see if y'all got any more questions or comments. Shout out to you all for being here on this short notice. I was going to save this for tomorrow, right? But then this happened. I had something totally different lined up. I left a lot of things in the description there, from game prices, and from what I can understand, Sony's not planning on raising the prices at least through the summer, but we're going to find out. I think they have their 2025 year announcement, whatever it's called, for the fiscal year next week. So we're going to find out. So for me now, nobody's asking, am I going to buy Gears? Yes. Yeah, I already put it on the wish list, or you want to call it, whatever that thing's called. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that here shortly, probably when I get off the horn with you all. So, Final Destination 2025, well, we'll have to wait and see what that's like. But yeah, I'm buying it. So I'm in the 59%. And all right, tell me, for the ones who are not going to buy it, tell me why you're not going to buy it. And this doesn't mean you're going to buy it day one. I'm not saying that, but are you going to buy the game? And tell me why. Tell me why you're buying it, and then tell me why you're not going to buy it. That way you can have a conversation there. And don't be scared. I mean, I don't get it. All these people talk all this cash shit online, and then, you're getting challenged, and all of a sudden it's oh no, we can't have it. So, we can't have it. Oh, I'm not going to say nothing. Again, I don't get it. Also, shout out to Porter Rock. He did that interview with D-Batch. Make sure you all go check that out. It was nice hearing D-Batch take accountability for talking about 12 T-flops and 52 CUs. Oh, that's why we got Doom Dark Ages coming too. Forgot about that. That meta score goes up next year. So, J-Dub having a ball online, I can see. Microsoft's Xbox games dominate the PS5 digital charts. What an insane sight to see. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. Well, Claire Obscure is not an Xbox game. So just to let people know, Elder Scrolls was going to do well anyway. Elder Scrolls has always been big. So yeah, Xbox took a page from PlayStation, decided to remaster an original game they already remastered. Pretty funny. So Gears of War Reloaded. So yeah, this is they're having a tough time out here, man. Man, I mean they're hurting out here. Yeah, Superman in July. Jimmy Leo says you may. Gears might single-handedly reignite the console war. I don't know how. It's not. The console war is over. That's done. That is done. Omar Thomas says, King Thrash, J-Dub, and myself, Porter Rock, MMK2, and others have been saying the whole slate's coming ever since X-Flop released those first 4 games. Oh my goodness gracious. The whole slate's coming. So, well, Alexander, don't Gears 3, don't spoil anything. We don't want that to be spoiled. So yeah, we told you all. We told you all the whole slate's coming. So now here's what I would like to see, and I'm going to put out a bat signal. I'm going to see if the guy who does the 60 frames no lag one, no lag thumbnail, can do a Gears of War thumbnail with our faces on the gears, just to see how that looks. I think people would enjoy that. I think that'd be funny. And again, I think Porter Rock is going to do 60 frames no lag on Wednesday. I think Predator Badlands November. Yeah, I like Predator Prey. I don't know if you saw that on Netflix, Prey or whatever it's called. It was Netflix or Hulu or something like that. But yeah, I'm Predatored out. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm glad that a movie that came out in the 80s? Was that like 1987 or something like that? Whatever it was. It's still relevant today. I mean, it's been, almost 40 years? Yeah, 87, 97, 97, 2007, 2007, 2017. Yeah, I mean, that's 30 plus years. So, yeah, shout out to those guys for making that movie. They had Carl Weathers, Jesse the Body Ventura, had a lot, and Arnold picked those guys to be in that movie. If you don't know, the original Predator, it was supposed to be him and that girl was supposed to be in it. That was it. He was supposed to go down as a one-man army, rescue the girl, and then start leaving the jungle, and then they were going to be getting hunted by a predator. So, but Arnold's the one who changed and said, well, let's just have a team go, take out a terrorist group, rescue the girl, and then try to get out of the jungle, and have the monster picking off part of the crew, which I think was cool. So, War Money, yeah, Craig, a War Money Day. I may change my name to that. I think I'm going to change it to Craig of War on Twitter when I'm done today. Oh, man. So, the Net of Zootopia. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That's a funny movie. So, but yeah, the console war's over. That's why you see the people who are still console warring, they're starting to struggle now. They're starting to struggle with content. Now they're making it about, well, this game isn't as popular as Monster Hunter, the Shadow game. What's the name of the game? Goodness gracious, Assassin's Creed Shadows. I gotta get back into that. Assassin's Creed Shadows is, it's not as popular as Monster Hunter World because again, they were on this anti-woke BS. I'm like, this game is woke. It is woke. All that kind of stuff. But the game, very successful. And shout out to what Reforged Gaming was saying when he was saying that, a lot of these dudes were going to pick on the wrong IP and they were going to get knocked around. And that's what you're seeing happen, okay? And we're all seeing it. I think it's a good thing. I'm happy with it. But if you don't have any more questions or comments, it's good to see. We'll shut the poll down, pause. And yeah, 61% of you all are buying Gears for PlayStation 5. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to buy it day one, okay? It doesn't mean you're going to buy it day one, but you're going to eventually, by the end of the year, get around to buying it. It's just a whole lot we got coming. The Metal Gear game, Ghost of Yotei, Death Stranding 2, Elder Scrolls. It's got a lot of stuff coming, So, yeah, Endless Love. Well, it's just called Endless Love, not My Endless Love. And Endless Love, the E and the L should be capitalized. Just letting you know, my man. What's up now, El Nini? What, you got any questions for me?
Yeah, I like taking questions from El Nini. Let's see if he can get a good question in here before we bounce. So let's party up against the bots. Well, send me an invite. Send me an invite. So I play Gears online, so I don't. It's fun for me. Mary Wilcox says anyone who cries constantly about supposed wokeness, it's really hard to take them about any. Yeah, I know. Shout out to Mary. Yeah, I agree. So yeah, but Mary, are you going to buy Gears of War, or are you and your significant other? Are you going to buy it for PlayStation, or is this just not your cup of tea? I always like hearing what the ladies have to say. Shout out to Mary Wilcox. So, SWV Weak Song 92. Yeah, good song. One of my favorite R&B songs from the 90s. Yeah. Makes me feel like an old man. So, yeah. Golly, 92. I still remember that summer. That song was out from a movie called Free Willy. I still remember that. So, let's wait for some questions here. See what Mary Wilcox and El Nini's going to do. And yeah, if anybody else wants to squad up with it, just let me know. Just send me an invite. So, but if not, so Mary's not a Gears of War fan, so she's not buying it. Okay, so she's in the 31%. But Thunderbolts was good. I'm glad you all enjoyed it. Yeah, like I said, it's a good movie. It's not fantastic, but it's fun to watch. It's a nice, grounded, fun movie to watch. And, we'll just have to wait and see how it plays out. So, and you'll be seeing them in other movies. In case you didn't know, they're going to be in the next Avengers movie as well. So again, this is going to be like 48 Avengers or 48 superheroes. So we're going to see. We're going to find out. One more time, just nope, not buying Gears of War on PlayStation. I'm an X flop owner and beat Gears 1 and 2, then lost interest. Gears 1 is good, Gears 2 is okay. I thought Gears 2 is considered one of the best sequels of all time. I should be buying Lost Souls aside. Yeah, this is another game coming in August. So, and Madden comes out in August as well. So, yeah, August is packed. There ain't going to be no wiggle room in August. And then you have Ghost of Yote in the fall as well. So, y'all got a lot of stuff coming, a lot of stuff. So, all right then, guys, I'm going to get off here because, again, I have to go to bed in like two and a half more hours. But shout out to everybody that came by, short notice. And hopefully we see you all Wednesday night on 60 Frames No Lag. But if not, you all have a good one, and I'll podcast again probably, I'll wait till Friday. Yeah, Friday or Saturday. If not, though, I'll be on PlayStation. So if you contact me on PlayStation, don't get upset if I don't send you something back. Especially during the week, because I don't really game a lot during the week. I just kind of rest. So, all right then, guys. The Mafia game is coming out as well. Yep, good. Mafia, Badlands. We got a whole lot. All right, man. That's it. I appreciate you all being here. I will talk to you all on the other side. Deuces.